Good morning, Oracles. How are you today? Tesla closed under $1,000 yesterday. This is a great thing. Why is this a great thing? Because long-term investors are going to be getting a much larger return on their investment the lower the price goes now. We have so many analysts out there increasing their price targets. They're raising them up from under $1,000 to over $1,000, up to $1,300 to $1,500. These analysts are also taking into account macro environment issues. And they're still seeing the macro environment issues despite how massive they may be, with interest rates going up, possible wars in Ukraine, so many big issues going on, but they're still continually raising their price targets. And so when the price comes down in the short term, like it has been, that just means we're going to get a better return on our investment. So for instance, let's say an analyst has a price target of $1,500. Based on the $1,000 we are at right now, at the end of the year, we will have a 50% return on our investment. But if the stock price was around $1,200 currently, that'd be around a 25% return on our investment. So the lower the price goes now, the better return on our investment we will make. And this is just over a 12-month period. Sure, price targets can be changed over the course of the year. Other things can happen along the way. But even if the entire price target change comes down, that will most likely be because of macro environment issues. And then there's going to be larger issues to deal with anyway. But that doesn't mean that we won't hit that price target. It just means that it will be delayed a little bit. So now for most of us who are investing for 5 to 10 years, think about how that gets magnified even further down the road. You know, at $1,000, let's say the price target for 2026 is $5,000. That's a 5x. But if we were at $1,200, that would only be a 4x. Still amazing gains either way, but for anybody who just yes, we want it to go green. I do. I want to see this euphoric rally. I want to see an amazing pop from earnings. But the longer we have to buy at a suppressed bargain basement price, the better return on our investment we will have in the long run. And so for me, I do want to see this gap get filled down to 939. I would love for that to happen. It would first off fill that gap and seal that off. And then we could buy awesome pricing down at 939. And thinking about that, going to a $1,500 price target at the end of the year, that is more than a 50% return at that point. So for me, I am looking down the road as what is the return on my investment that I'm putting in? And if I can get more of a return on my investment because I still see that long-term future growth. Just because we're coming down in the short term doesn't mean that it's going to bring down the price in the long term. Tesla has shown us this time and time again. It can run up and down 40, 50, 60% sometimes. It's crazy. And it can do it in a very short period of time. I mean, look at last year. We hit $900 in February and came down to just over $500 3 months later. And then we finished up the year and hitting $1,200. It fluctuates a lot. So just be patient, buckle yourself up for the roller coaster ride, but look at the end of the ride. Where are we going at the end of the ride? And if you can invest more when we're down near the bottom or any times of pain like this, you're going to find yourself much greener on the other side. This is where we bring in fudge. Fudge is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Grab extra. And grab extra as much as you can. But for me, we don't know where the bottom is going to be. So I'll just buy little bits here and there. But every time we get a little bit more FUD and we get a little bit more red, I'm just going to buy a little bit more. That's how I run my strategy. And I know many of you can't do that, so I'm starting to work in my IRA doing swings with full shares. So I can work with you guys. I am on Twitter at OracleTim1, and I do share my, my daily trades there. So this way, if I'm trading in and out of my IRA with full shares, you guys who cannot trade fractionally will be able to follow me there as well. And just as a reminder, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing what I do with my personal portfolio. And I did happen to get lucky with my strategy, and I've hit the bottom of the day 3 times in the last 3 weeks. It's just based on my strategy, and it's because I am buying regularly. So that may change when I get into my IRA flips. But either way, this is the strategy that I'm going to be using going forward. So if you do so, you're doing so at your own risk. And so for me, that is the return on investment that I'm looking for going forward when it comes to what the analysts are saying. And I've said it before that the specific numbers that the analysts come up with are not what I go by. It is more of the trend, and all of them are trending up. All their price targets are trending up. All of their delivery estimates are trending up. Many of the times, these analysts over the course of the year end up increasing their targets to get close to where many of us retail investors have our targets. And so, at the end of the year, the analysts are where we are at. We just got there first because we see where the projections are going, and analysts are kind of being cautious. But some are, they see it and they change it, and they're changing it regularly. And that's what I pay attention to with the analysts. They're constantly increasing. Despite macro environment issues, they are still increasing their estimates for both deliveries, production, and price target. So that's what I watch. So when the daily price of Tesla comes down and we close under $1,000 for the first time in the year, that to me is just a great sign to buy more. Because when the market is feeling pain, that is when you're going to turn around your investment even more. And as Slim Lewis had mentioned in the comments, bear markets are the foundation of where fortunes are built. And while we are not in an actual bear market yet, we might get to one. But when you invest heavily into a bear market, we will go back to a bull market. When we get to that bull market, all of that money you invested when we were going bear will be magnified even more. That's why you're going to build your fortune even more. And that's why many of us love when the stock goes red, because we will get a much better return on our investment. Let me know in the comments below, how low do you think the stock price is going to go for Tesla? I know some of you have mentioned 850. Some are looking to get the gap filled. I will have a buy put in myself for around 940. So, just taking a look at these things for myself, let me know what you guys have for your strategy and how low you think it's going to go. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Again, I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla information as well as pertinent stock market news and all of my trades over there. Thank you so much. Have a great one.